Hi Bladers, it's Ferdinand the Cardboard Stacker and welcome to another set of the week. And this time we're going to look at a set that's from far, far away called Galactic Caboose. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now the main thing about Galactic Caboose is that they have a common action that's called Blast Off, which basically gives you 3 stars to another card in your tableau when it's in play. So all these have it. You do have to spend an action for it, but 3 stars could be very good in some play styles, especially I think clashing and usually anything about scoring that has star rankings. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first card. Our first card up is Space Crocodile Steve. In addition to its blast off action, it has a gain 16 points when it flips. So that's pretty good for a smaller card. Now, especially if you're using that stars as for good use. It's these actually appear pretty commonly in tournaments I've been to that actually plays with this set. So pretty good for a very basic card. Next card up is Galactic Z, and she has a play effect that gives +2 to a card in your tableau and a flip effect that actually clashes and getting RP from that. This is actually a very good card especially for those who are going with the clashing style. I guess the best time to play this card is when you're going to use a clash card already in your tableau, the card that's actually to its left. So not immediate left, but maybe just to its left anyway, because any card is going to be to your left. You're probably going to pump up with those stars and then use her action to actually give it more stars and then clash with an opponent. So very excellent card, and it goes well with any deck and any play style. The next card is Space Sage Qui-Gon Jinn. This has the score effect that gives you +5 at the end of the tournament for every +1 star it has. So this actually goes great with its own set. You need at least 6 to score the max. 6 star tokens to score the max for it. It's not only great to actually just pump it out with stars to get those RPs, but I think it's also great to actually use as part of your clashing if you're going for a clashing style. So pretty good card, and if you can't really get up to those star power, you can actually just use its action anyway to pump someone up. So you're not going to use its score power, maybe at least use its action power if you don't get a chance to actually gain those stars for him. Next card is Smite Beagle, and this is I think like more or less the opposite of Space Sage Qui-Gon Jinn, that it's a play effect and then he removes +1 star tokens and gain 6 for that. So that's going to be in essence the same amount of points as that. Of course, score effects are much more safer after the end of the tournaments than play effects, because play effects you get the RP, but it may not be safe with everyone else's effects going on. It's kind of interesting that these two cards are kind of like the opposite of each other, but I think this is just a little better. It has 1 more star ranking, of course, but the play effect, you can still use the action after its play effect. So there you go. And the super rare for this set is Captain Airlock. In addition to its blast off action, it has a next effect that gives it 5 +1 star tokens to the next card is played. So wow, 5 star tokens. So initially it can give just 8 star tokens on its own. So that's quite a big jump. Now this is a great card if you're just going to play for clashing, but I think for a deck that actually goes for high star power, you actually don't have to flip this deck because it gives so much to a lot of +1 tokens anyway. And the deck for this set is Space Ladder. It does have a blast off action, but unlike the others that gives +3 +1 star tokens, this one gives +5 +1 star tokens. It is an action, but it's I don't know how you can actually use this in a thing. If you're going to go for a lot more star power for the cards, you can work it out that way. That's great, but just sacrificing the deck itself for 5+ star tokens, I think it'd be much better if you look for a different deck to play off of. But it does have actually still a pretty good scoring effect, that is you scoring off your card in your tableau that has the most +1 star tokens up to maximum 45. So that's still pretty good, but maybe not a chance if you're going to go for the +1 star tokens. But if you if it's maybe like an emergency that you had to put more star tokens in the card, maybe that's the time to use it. But if you can't really put more star tokens there, I think it's a great card to actually score off of. Talking about synergy for this set, so I'm gonna give it an average score because not all the cards kind of work together, but it is a higher star ranking set because it is a master set. So I think Galaxy Z's effect is actually pretty good. Also, the Space Sage and Smike Beagle also feed off the +1 star tokens of the effects here, and also Space Ladder. But most of the, I think the but for the effects themselves, as it's working together, it's not really there for me. So I think it's actually much better to put these cards somewhere else. You actually don't need a bunch of these cards, and I don't think it's going to score a lot if you get a bunch of these cards in your deck. But if it's in some other in your deck with other sets and cards from the core set, I think it works better. Now, talking about versatility, now I think this is a great set if you have started with either green, brown, or black. Black has a lot of flip effects that actually affects a lot of star powers. Green has some cards that actually do star powers, and also brown. So if you're starting with those decks, I think this is a great set to look at when you are first starting off. As for the other cards in the core set, I think it's pretty good. Actually, it's very good. Of course, you're going to see those same cards that you in those starter sets in the core set about getting star RP based on star ranking. And there's also a deck in the core set called Kingmaker. Look at that one as well. Unfortunately, most of the cards that do score off of star power are lower cards, so you may have a mixed set of star power when you're going through that. And now let's go ahead and talk about compatibility. I haven't talking about character powers yet, but I think this set actually may work well with Fulton Suitcase. Fulton Suitcase is not the best person in tournaments getting RP for his ability, but it just gives a little boost and a bit more assurance that you can actually build more star power. Probably the best set to pair this up with is Xeno Crossover. Tons of cards you can go ahead and base off a star power because that set does work around star power. You got the EXP Worker, you got the Geologist of War, and you got the really cool card, the really cool deck, the Deus Ex RNG, which actually does gives you just a bunch of cards on top of the deck for each star you have. So take a look at that one. Cards that do feed off more higher star ranking cards are the and Malicious Arrangement, some cards in there, and Hell to Pay, which actually deals with higher cards that's next to it when it gets played. So you can actually build your tableau up for these cards, and it can actually play better. Fist of Steel is another one. Of course, this is clashing. I guess the other one is going to be Samurai Mowdown. Big on clashing decks and a lot of star power for those who love to clash. I'm a little hesitant on this, but I think it may work with Millennium Masters, and this is another master set. It's because I'm a little more worried because even though it gives you lots of good star power, it's gonna flip cards. You don't really want to flip cards. You actually want as many star power plus star rankings as you want in your tableau face up to get actually up to there, so you can actually play those cards for those effects. But I think the best one for that set is going to be Captain Airlock. And that's it. That's all I have to say about this set. This is an incredible, really powerful and amazing set. It actually just works anywhere for in almost any play styles about clashing, actually even defending yourself, and also bring up star rankings in your tableau. Most games that I have played with actually have at least one of these cards in there just to build up stuff. I guess the only flaw is this set, it's a little, you do have to get it set up to actually make it work its best. But all in all, I think this is probably one of the better sets in the whole Master sets, or even in the whole game right now. And that's all the time I have for about this set. So if you happen to like this video and you found this very helpful, go ahead and give this video a like, and you can also subscribe to my channel. We actually going to have more videos of sets every week, so stay tuned for every week in which I go ahead and talk about another set in Millennium Blades. And don't forget I have other videos on boarded card games on my channel. Go ahead and check out my other videos on that. And you can follow me on Twitter at CVStacker, and you can also support my channel at Patreon. Until next time, see you later, Bladers.